Okay, so we're on my NTTR map here, and we are going to have a quick look, and it's the primary purpose of this video, at the range and what each part of it's for. So, in the case of the mission that is running constantly on the server, Blue 4 has 3 bases. They have Nellis, which has basically most of the jets and the like, A10 and everything. It has Creech, which has some A10s, some AV8s, but also some of the other ones that don't have a lot of legs. And we have Tanopa, which has some AV8s for when they want to hit the ranges with and the like, without going too far. Red Force has Groom Lake, which is where any player-based guys will take off from when we're doing red on blue, and they also have good old McCarran International, or Vegas International as some people call it, and that's where their tanker and all that support takes off from. Now, let's look at the actual ranges we've got here. So we have just in over here in Alamo Bravo and Alamo Beta, the live fire guys will spawn in this area. So this is where live fire guys spawn. In here we have, exactly as this says, this 62A targets. Now these are primarily strafe targets. So most of the stuff in the 62, 64 area and 65 area here, this is primarily strafe targets, and that's how it is in real life. So if we come in and we look at targets, we've got things like this, the strafe target pits. We have tactical strafe targets, which are these guys. More strafe pits. We have these guys, which if you zoom out you will notice are set up on target pits. Which can be used for bombing and the like. We have the fake range and all that stuff. So if you actually look, most of the markings are already in existence here. We have more strafe targets down here. We have a mix of strafe targets just here. We have a range control unit on most of these guys here, so that if somebody wants to take control, they're able to, and they can laze, things like that, or they can be the range controller. But this is primarily a tactical strafe area. It's used for strafing. Just like the Creech targeting ranges here are also strafe target ranges. This one here is set up to be as a convoy. It is made out of boxes, though I've noticed they do need to be turned around. That is my bad. But it looks like this. You come over here, you have again some targets set up exactly as they are in real life. And the markings are on the ground. These can be used for bombing, and you can tell that they've been used for bombing because they've got the bombing circle markers around them. These are all again strafe targets. Strafe targets, so if we lock on here, zoom in, strafe targets, turn around, look down that way, strafe targets, and the like. If we come out to the actual bombing ranges, so up here we have the stuff for low level, bombing, where they put in just a marker and a target. We have a marker and a target. Over at the place range, we have exactly the same markers within the existing craters and the like. The place isn't used that much anymore, and I've reflected that on the map. It's normally used for static explosions, all that fun stuff. If we come across to Pahut, Alpha and the like here, you'll notice that we've got sea land towers for the most part, but we do have the occasional one of these down on the ground. So sea land tower, and what do I believe I've actually clicked on the wrong thing here. Yep. The problem with some of this is I'm still updating some of the ranges so I have to go to things like here. So we have pits in the middle of the already drawn bombing ranges on a lot of these, and the reason for that is because the markings already exist. It's a little pointless to put in extra markings when they already exist, but you do have the occasional one like the one over here. But this is where you really see the difference in sizing between this and real life. So this range is primarily for bombing and the like. There's range tower again. We come over here, strafe pits and some more bombing stuff. See, strafe pits. Strafe pits and more strafe pits. If we come up here, we have the fake targets. So fake airbase with a convoy running along the road just over there. The tower array just up there. So that's this area and this area here. And we have a conventional circle as well, just here on the road. We have a single tactical target, if we can actually see it, just in here, so a fake building. We have the continuous in here live fire zone that happens here, so all the targets just move up. They're constantly fighting with a dude there. Can't remember where Whiplash is. Poor old Whiplash got attacked earlier. And then if we come over here, for example, we've got more strafe pits. We have a bunch of conventional bombing circles in here. So, as you can see, conventional bombing circles. If you want to do conventional bombing, that's where you go. FAC control area just here. Another fake airfield and the like just here. And the big one is, if you're curious, yes, that is actually what is here in real life. These are all set up as close to what some people I know who have been to Red Flag and the like say the zones are like, and what the satellite photos match. We have the Star of David fake site just here. The other fake runways and the fake town, the fake train, and the fake compound is just over there. again, all exist in real life. So strafe target range, which is their real life, the boxed in areas here, which are all for compound running, stuff like that. Where possible, we've used the NTTR target range stuff to do the buildings as they should be. So if we look over here and we do a, it's not going to let me easily do this because again I'm still updating some of these from static back to normal targets so that I can actually zoom them. But as you can see, we've got generally the right ones, not always 100%, but then as I've been told, the range does change at times. We flick again, we come over here, we've got, as I said, this is the runway, the fake town and the train. So if we have a look, there's the train, because when we have to kind of do it that way because there should be a set of train tracks there in real life, but DCS doesn't have them, so we have to fake the train. Use some statics and fake him, but he's near enough, close enough. The fake town and the second fake runway. Up here we have again just tac strafe targets, sea land targets and the like. We also have some conventional circles and all that fun stuff, so conventional bombing circles, tac strafe targets, and the sea land towers, all that type of stuff. So again, it's all just basically a mix of what's there in real life. And the final one we've got is these sets in here. So we have the second fake runway and the like in along here, which is just, well, actually this set's just the fake buildings, and the low level run stuff in along here. When the range goes active, you end up with this area along here. And by active I mean for air-to-air, is all air-to-air. You have the bombers completely up here normally. That's range. I know this isn't exactly the type of video most people are going to sit and watch, but simply because I'm keep being asked, well, where's the conventional bombing circles and things like that. So now you can see where the conventional bombing circles are. I'll also be throwing up a picture of this with each area with a line drawn to, and what's roughly in each of the areas. So basically this, so that people know. Anyway, that's where I'm leaving it for the moment.